Yo, yo, yo. Well, here it is. As you can see in the chat box, I just completed the Void Waker. So as promised in the last ramble, I went for this. It took a little bit longer than I thought it would. You can probably see by the KC, definitely took a while. But yeah, I'll make it right now, I guess, and then I'll show you all the loot. So it's all sitting in here. I haven't spoiled too much of it. Unfortunately, some of it's spilled outside, so I tried to hide the less impressive things outside. But first, let me make this. I think you just do this. These parts of the weapon, you can assemble it for me. Yes, please. 500k. Yeah, this money is including that 500k. Don't worry. 500k. Yes. Oh, the Void Waker. So cool. Let's equip that. No combat achievement for that, unfortunately. Very, very cool item. Really cool stats, too. Basically an Abyssal Whip for TOA. Alright, so that takes care of that grind. Now, how about I go through exactly how everything went down. So, I just completed this like literally 10 minutes ago, so I figured I'd make the ramble while it's still fresh and in the chat box instead of tomorrow morning when, I don't know, some of the excitement will kind of die down by then. So, I'll leave the loot for the end. How about we go through the blocks? So, in the last ramble, I think I said I would do Artio, and then I said I would do Venenatis and Vedion, but actually I ended up doing Spindle and Calvarion because it was just really hard to do the multi-bosses. I just could not really get KC without getting PK'd by teams, and then you can't really log out there, and you can't teleport, whereas the singles you can, so I don't know, I figured the singles were kind of fun. So let's start with Callisto and Artio. Overall, went really well. You can see I have the green logs, as usual, got the pet. That was pretty nice. Got lucky, really lucky on the pet here, so overall, really lucky on these, actually, the Claws of Callisto. They're not as common as it looks here. So I got the Void Waker piece last at 993 KC. This is pretty much the drop rate. It's 1 in 912, so no complaining there. Got a spare Tyrannical. Not that you'd ever really lose it doing Corp. Maybe if you accidentally click out into Wildy, but, you know, kind of useless, so it's there. Got a bunch of Dragon Pickaxes and Two-Handers that I have. They don't really serve any purpose. I guess I already had that stash taken care of, but, you know, the pickaxes are there. Kind of useless too, honestly, like Infernal Pickaxe for Granite, I guess, but that's very niche, and I'm not going to be doing that kind of stuff. I'll probably just use regular Dragon Pickaxe. I don't want to go grind out a second Smoldering. So anyway, after hitting pretty much the drop rate here, well, for context, I guess, maybe start there. I think I said I was going to take a vacation and then grind some of this out. So the way it went down was I took a week off from work, and first 4 days I basically knocked out all of Artio and Spindle, so where's Spindle? A little spoiler there, that's green too, but you probably expected that. Spindle went really well, like 400 KC, pretty half drop rate, got everything that I needed. Actually, I got the Void Maker piece first, didn't get anything else, no complaining there. Worst ring, I don't care about rev weapons, this pet, one day maybe, but overall, pretty nice. So I was like, okay, I have 3 days, you know, doing 900 KC in 3 days isn't too bad for vacation. I was like, okay, you know, I'll try it out. Unfortunately, it ended up taking me the last 3 weeks to do enough Calvarion KC. Ended up going 2.5 times dry, nearly 3 times dry. Pretty funny because I know somebody in the previous video, I forget their name, it starts with a P. In the comments section, they were like, oh, recently I did 2,500 kills for my Calvarion. It's really annoying. And I was like, oh, dude, that sucks. I hope it's not me. Unfortunately, it almost was. I guess pretty much 2,500 KC, just a little short. But yeah, I did do this last just now, got it. So that's taken care of. It's a relief to finally be done and out of here. I would say overall, Calvarion is the easiest by far. Like, you could probably do Vedion if you were able to not get PK'd. It's not that bad, but I didn't like it. Honestly, like, the singles bosses are really easy, and I don't know, you can just escape and not get bothered for hours at a time. You know, actually, yeah, like during work hours, EST, Eastern time, like you can literally have vast swaths of uninterrupted time. I think there were like multiple like hours where I did like 100 KC without being interrupted. And interrupt here just means the PKR shows up and I teleport out with seed pod. So it's just like, and you come back immediately with POH tabs because they log out and hop worlds. So you don't even lose your world. It's amazing. So I really like that. Overall here, I would say I got pretty unlucky actually. The pet is very slightly lucky. You know, the drop rate's 1 in 2,800. Okay, fine. Like, I actually almost deserved this pet. The rings, I think they're like 1 in 600, so like maybe I'm missing one, it's fine. Skull, pretty unlucky, it's like 1 in 700 maybe, and then I only have 1 in 3, fine. The thing I hated about this boss was there was like well, there's two things. The first thing is, I really hate how when you knock it below 50% HP, but it's already doing its next auto, it doesn't let you like hit it again. Like, it takes your damage and nulls it down to 10% of it. And so obviously your thrall hits 0, and then whatever you hit, let's say you hit a 40, hits a 4 instead. So that really sucks. I just feel like, just put the hounds out already. Like, why null my damage? So towards the end I learned one trick, which is like, if I'm low on HP for whatever reason, I can just use that time period to eat freely, because any attack I do is basically doing pretty much 0. I mean, it's going to roll some number between 0 and 5, I guess, and most likely you're going to hit like a 1 or 2, so it's just like, that's like a thrall shot basically. Like, it's okay to eat there, so that's nice. So I hate that. It's like not that annoying though. The real thing that I hate about this is there was a stretch of 1,200 kills in the middle where I got nothing, and by nothing I mean like I didn't get a dragon pickaxe, a two-hander, a skull, a ring, or the blade. Like, it was just like from like 1150 KC to like 2350 KC. I just got like nothing, and it was fine, but it was like this stretch of like 6 days after work. Like, just keep going. It was so depressing. But you know, push through. You'll get the drop eventually. So that's what ended up happening here, and I'm pretty happy with that. As for the other two, RDO is really easy. Like, just freeze, do 8 Bofa shots, freeze again 3rd time. It's like super easy once you get used to it. Sometimes the Prey Mage projectile hit 1 tick earlier than I thought. It was like a little scuffed. Maybe I'm just bad, but I don't know. Yeah, I feel like I don't know. Maybe it was like input lag and it changed prayers 1 tick late or something. I really can't tell. Spindle. Okay, so the thing with Spindle is like it's pretty easy. I just didn't like that I had to count attacks. Maybe somebody who's better than me has some like, oh, you don't need to count attacks or whatever. But I don't know. I counted attacks and it seemed to work fine. But yeah, no, I didn't like that aspect. I will say Dragon Warhammer, super good at Spindle. Even better at Venonautus, I'm sure. But like, I would say it's practically a requirement for this. Like, bludgeon is like butter on the boss if you land your hammer. If you miss your hammer, it's okay. But as you probably saw on my Twitter, I was going really hard at Spindle. I was like taking like Infernal Cape and like bringing Warhammer and Thralls and Depth Charge. So it was like super sweaty. Honestly worth it. This is easily the best boss to spoon in my opinion. Super annoying mechanics, and like the webs are super annoying if you do get caught by a PKer, which you should never. I think I died like, I could count the number of times I died like on one hand. It was like 3 times at RDO because I did it first and was not used to people entering, and then I died like once or twice at Spindle. I think once at Spindle because I reacted late on my seed pod to PKer entering, and then I died at Calvarion towards the end. Like, I had done like 2200 KC or something, or 23 even. And actually the first time I died was today. I wasn't paying attention and I got wrecked. I was getting complacent, I guess, but yeah, just treat every KC like it's the first, you'll never die. So I'd say, yeah, overall, singles boss is pretty safe for hardcores even. Like, I died 5 times and that could have easily been 0 if I paid slightly more attention. So yeah, not bad. Basically, I kept all the loot. I lost like 1 rune pickaxe and then like maybe like 250 spider's eggs, I think. And then at RDO I lost, I don't know, like, I don't even remember. Something trivial. But anyway, I have the loot tracker, so I actually accounted for those, and whatever. The final loot that I have is accounting for everything. So, overall, the final loot, I made 22 million GP, I guess, between Alks and straight up cash. I think straight up cash totaled to 7.1 million, and then between Onyx bolts and the rune pickaxes and rune two-handers came to 22. That's pretty nice. Tops up the runes, the GP stack nicely. Brings me back to around 250 mil, which is pretty nice. As saying goes, PVM just always, tops up your GP stocks. You're never gonna run out. Got a bunch of tree seeds, pretty much the same amount of all, like 25 to 30 of each. All useless. I don't really do farming. I have the pet now, so maybe for contracts one day. I got a lot of spare dragon stuff. If Jagex ever buffs this, I have them. These are useless. If I ever go for rev weapons, I do have these. I guess the one nice thing is if I ever do go for like true wildy completion, like including pets and everything, then like I have the rev weapon upgrades right here, so I can upgrade them right away. And moreover, I have 2 out of the 3 pets of these big 3 bosses, so that's really lucky, and it's also really nice because it means I only ever have to do Spindle ever again. The other 2 are completely green logged, which means I never have to do them. Super nice. This loot from RDO is like pretty surprising, I would say. Actually, did not expect to get over 100 of each of these important seeds. Pretty nice. Overall, though, it doesn't really matter because you use like 0 supplies. After I show the final loot, I'll go to the back to the bank and I can just show you. You can compare against the previous bank video, but like you don't use any supplies. And the reason for that is all 3 bosses drop super combats, range potions, food. So they drop carbons, anglerfish, and dark crabs. And they also drop blighted super restores. So you just I did like LMS for a little bit to get like, I don't know, maybe like 24 blighted super restores, and like I think like 10 blighted carbons or 12 blighted carbons or something to start with, and then I just used those. And I just actually profited all of the supplies I just mentioned in the long run, so it's super nice. You use nothing for this grind besides runes itself. No, get out of here. Yeah, so the only cost was like the raw runes. Okay, so here's the real loot. As you can see, it's worth 104 million, which is kind of cracked. So overall, the runes, pretty nice. This definitely covered all the thralls that I ever casted, so I did not lose any money there. Didn't use these. This covers all the death charge I was doing, so overall, profited on the runes. I actually do think between these oak planks and these mahogany logs, I might have 20 mil construction banked. Actually, definitely yes. 17.6, 2.5 mil. I think it is, actually. Somebody else can math it out. Oh, wow. Did it just drop? Weird. Oh, not sure why it dropped. But anyway, you can math it out, but I think that's 20 mil construction bank, so that takes care of that. Quite a few gold ores. Pretty surprising. Not bad at all. This is like comparable to what you would get from a decent amount of Chambers of Xeric, actually, like a non-trivial amount. So pretty cool that this like 60-hour grind, like a Bofa grind basically, gets you that. Like I would say this is actually even easier than Bofa grind for how free it is. Like you literally die like 5 times. I died like 200 times going for Bofa. Spend the same amount of time, get better loot, and the Voidbreaker is useful everywhere. So is Bofa, but like really nice. Great grind. I would say it's a great addition for the game. Incentivizes people going to the Wildy, and really is not as hard as it looks. Okay, this is awesome. 9.5k magic logs. Now granted, I did go pretty dry. I think you would only expect around 5k or less than fewer than that if you weren't so dry, but that's pretty good. I would say it's like birdhouses for life, pretty much. I mean, each one is, I think, like 1120, 1120 hunter experience. So let's call it 10k. I have some in the bank too. So that's 10 to the 4th, 1.12 times 10 to the 3rd, 1.12 times 10 to the 7th, 11.2 times 10 to the 7th, which is 11.2 million hunter XP. So that covers 20 mil. Also, whatever, let's say it's 10,000, divide that by 4 is 2,500, times 10 is like 25,000 bird's nests, a little bit more like 27,000 bird's nests. So that also is an infinite supply of nests taken care of. Okay, Dragon Bones. Didn't even know that these came from these bosses. Amazing. This covers a large chunk of 20 mil prayer for me. And that's awesome because if you remember from my original maxing rambles, I hate gathering bones. Like, I really hate it. I lanced like so many green dragons, and then eventually Ash Slayer came out, so I just did post 99 Slayer for 99 prayer, and yeah, I mean, this is awesome. This is like what, like, if they're approximately 500 XP each, 4.6 mil divided by 2, is that right? Yes, 2.3 mil. That is pretty good, actually. So that's like 15.5, 17.5 mil. Okay, that covers about half the distance from where I am to 20 mil. Not bad at all. Rest, I'm fine lancing dragons for 2.5 mil XP, but you know what? More PVM will just bank more of the XP, so no worries there. Super Compost, I don't really farm anymore. I mean, I use the Ash spell anyway. I'll convert these into Ultra Compost and put them in the bucket just to have them, I guess, but like, I'm never going to go through 10,000 charges, so cool. I guess it's more like 13,000 charges, but still. Gems, everything gives gems these days. Cox, TOA, Wildy bosses, so no surprise there. Nice to have, doesn't really mean anything to me. I haven't cut gems in years, have 20 mil crafting, but if I ever need to make, I don't know, like bolt tips or I'm desperate for GP, that's there. Red D'hide. Didn't even know this came from Artio, but it's pretty nice. Yeah, it's okay. Sandfuse serums and antidotes. These are very nice. The antidotes, very, very trivial amount from Spindle, so it doesn't really matter. But the Sandfuse, I think I'm overall, with this combining with what I have from Sepulcher from maxing, I'm around 800, maybe like 750 actually, Sandfuse. So that's going to be great for Chambers of Xeric when I go for T-Bow. Huge. Yeah, I think you use around 2 doses per raid, so that should easily be T-Bow drop rate taken care of, and quite a bit more. So overall, really happy about the Sandfuse situation now. It was getting pretty dire previously. Red Spider's Eggs, this is, like, words, these are so easy to get. I don't know, people seem to hate this, but this is literally like, I don't know, like 2.5 hours of Tower of Life. Like, okay, sure, save some time, but doesn't really matter. Ditto on these, like, more high fungus. Okay, I saved 3 hours of, of doing the whole higher method of using Fairy Ring. That's cool. I mean, I'm probably not going to make any more stands, but I guess it is more efficient to use these than make fishing potions, because I already have them compared to farming Snapegrass, so it's cool. Dragon Stones. Surprised I got this many. I got 50 from Calvarian alone. Nice to have. Always nice to have Spare Glorious when you're risking in the Wildy like I just did. Yeah. Ancient Staves. Once upon a time, I had killed a bunch of... Oh, shoot, what are they called? I really don't remember the name. It's those things in the pyramid that can drop an ancient staff. Not Harpy Bug Swarm. Shoot. Alright, I don't remember the name, but it's those things in, like, the ancient pyramid, and yeah, they're super annoying. Bad task and garbage off task too. For like a 1 in 512 one of these, because I needed another one to make the Ancient Scepter for the Inferno, and I didn't have another way of getting them because I'd already paid 80k for the first and lost it or something, or alked it even worse. So now I have a bunch, so it's nice if I ever do anything like wildy PKing, and also I can like use them for Muspa like conversion. Darkbait, I didn't actually pick this up. This is just showing the loot I got, but like I already had 18,000 from like Wildy Slayer in 2018, so I don't really care about this. I'm never gonna fish any dark fishing bait. You get so much food from PVM. Cannonballs, it's like not that important. It's nice to have. Continues to top up my stack for Smoke Devil Desks, I guess. Wines of Zamorak. Oh yes, amazing drop. In fact, I would say if I didn't have a single item here and I only had the wines, I'd be satisfied. It's like that important to me. Like, I hate telegrabbing. I telegrabbed 5,000 for maxing. I was like, I'm never going to telegrab another one. And I held true to that. So this is going to be amazing, because this combined with the 2200 that you saw in the previous video puts me at around 5.6 or 5.7k, which is really, really nice. So overall, really, really happy about that, because I'm definitely set for quite a while now on ranging potions. Did I Zamorak? Did I miss something? I thought I missed it. Anyway, coconuts don't mean anything. Useless, have always been useless to me. It's not 2015 Scape anymore. Similarly for diamond bolts, like who uses regular diamond bolts? It's Dragon or Bust. Herbs, the one from Spindle didn't get too many. The one from Artio got a good amount. 420 Blaze It. Ranners got a good amount. Doesn't really mean much, but yeah, nice to have. So overall, really solid loot. Like 104 mil. Like if I was a main, I just made 104 mil plus. How much is this thing worth? I bet it's worth a lot actually. Wow, really? I actually thought it was like 250. I mean, that's still a lot, but like, isn't this like the price of Bofa plus armor? So I guess it is like a very similar grind and similar amount of money. But you know, okay, 138 plus 103, 104. Let's call 102 for good maths. 240 mil. I add all this, maybe another 25, 160, 170 mil, let's say. Yeah, with all this, probably even like 180 mil. I mean, I could add it. Oh. Does it not? Are you serious? Okay, well, I didn't realize that you can't shift click this for some odd reason. So how much is this all? 186. Okay, that actually is more than I thought. 186 plus 104-ish. 190, 290. So yeah, okay, 290. Let's call it 300 mil more or less. Like, you know, solid, really solid. That's for 60 hours. That's solid. I mean, it did take me 100 hours, but that's still 3 mil an hour for practically no requirements. I did it all off task, by the way. I don't believe in tutorial skipping for this crap. If you just want the Void Waker and nothing else, I don't think it's efficient to tutorial skip. Just go off task, honestly. Yeah, well, that is the Void Waker taken care of. It took, what, like 3 weeks? Maybe a month. I think I did start the final week of October. I just don't remember when the previous ramble was, but that is that. So let's put this in the bank. Let's put this in the bank. The Void Waker. Great item. Great item. 1.22 bill gear tab. I think the gear tab is finally worth more than the potions tab. Oh, well, actually, it's by quite a bit more. Not bad. So as I promised, you could probably compare this to the previous video, but I basically didn't use too many of these. You get all of them back, so it's really nice. Profited overall around 80 Blighted Super Restores. Obviously, it was more like, I mean, I got several hundred, but I also used several hundred, so it's like a balance. I profited 600 Blighted Anglerfish, 500 Dark Crab. I used up every single Carbon because it was the best food, so every Carbon I got, I ate. I used Summer Pies, by the way, at Spindle. Super nice place to use them. Duke as well, but Spindle, excellent place to use them. Big fan of these there. Go hard. Didn't really use too many stams. All the stams I used was for pre-potting, basically, when running, because it's kind of far, but other than that, not too big of a deal. Yeah, overall, wow, really, only 742. Well, still a lot. It's like 750-ish. So as I said, yeah, overall, really happy that this is finally over. I know I said in the last video I'd get slightly tilted, but overall, honestly, the tilting wasn't even at the peak airs. It was just that it took me forever. Like, you know, what is this? Like, 2.5 times. Well, you know, karma for getting lucky at TOA, right? So now, speaking of TOA, that is going to be my next goal. I'm going to take a break first. I don't want to just go launch right into it. And, you know, Thanksgiving is coming up and everything, so I'll go take care of that first. But maybe next week, launch right back into TOA. And it's time to... Where's TOA? I'll add it to the setup in a second. But it's time to go do 400s and go for the Shadow. Right? I think I promised that in the previous video. Let's go here. Tombs of a Mascot. Hasn't changed. Same story. Let's get this Tumikin Shadow knocked out of the way. And with a Void Waker, I think it should be pretty fun, especially on P4 when you can just take out like 200 HP right off the get-go. Including this Light Bearer, it'll be pretty fun. Good luck to you too, sir. Yeah, so that'll be pretty cool. I did see some stuff about a Fang nerf in January. Now, that's not confirmed. It's more like it'll be visited in whatever that means in Jagex parlance, but there's a chance that Fang Slash could be removed. Now, this shouldn't affect TOA in my opinion, because first of all, you don't use Slash there, but second of all, like, even if they do nerf Stab, I don't think they'll do it in TOA, because the raid is unplayable without Fang at its current power, especially at very high invocations. So, the smart thing to do would be to go abuse Slash Fang at Duke and Vardorvis, actually in the other order, get the Altor, then get the Magus Ring. But I really don't care that much. I don't want to go set my sights on 2 30-hour or 40-hour grinds right now just to get rings. I mean, Yes, they are best in slot. Yes, the Ultra is good in quite a few places, so is the Magus, especially after you have the Sears. In fact, the meta Cox setup is to take the Shadow, with obviously with Mesori, Blowpipe, and DHCB, as I talked about in previous Ramble, and then use both the rings. And it is good, but I don't know if I really care enough to go grind that out right now. I think I'd rather do TOA, even though, as I said, like the nerf is definitely going to affect those pieces of content more. So let's just see what Jagex comes up with. There'll always be some alternative. Same thing happened with Bofa, right? They're like, oh, we're going to nerf, with Blowpipe, and then they released Bofa, which not only replaced Blowpipe nicely in quite a few places, but also provided a far superior alternative in others. So I think same thing will happen. They'll probably nerf Fang and buff Rapier and Blade and Mace, and it'll give me a reason to go for Blade, probably. If they actually buff it, like at 12 strength and like 20 accuracy or something, which would be really nice on low defense targets, unlike Fang. Cool. So overall, I haven't actually outed these, by the way. I was going to, but I'm lazy. So I'll out them later, but the GP that I showed you does represent this properly. Cool. Well, that takes care of pretty much everything. Yeah, overall, really happy. I did, by the way, I did already have some of these, so these are, I only took out exactly the amount I got from the grind itself, not anymore. Do you not get these ores from, hold on, let me check RDO loot tracker. I felt like I got ores. No, you don't. You only get gold ore. So no, I didn't get any. And you could probably just check the previous video. But yeah, overall, pretty happy. Sucks that the bosses don't drop any pure essence. That would have been really nice. I think instead of dropping gold ore, they could just drop pure essence. That would be really cool. Just a suggestion, Jagex. I boxed up my Arams for some reason. Honestly, could not tell you the reason. Maybe to save a bank slot. Oh, yeah, I got 2 Skeleton Champion scrolls while doing Calvarion. That's actually expected. The first one was, because actually both are, because 2400 KC and you kill 5 skeletons per kill, so that's 12,000, and it's 1 in 5,000. So actually, yeah, pretty much like 2 is spot on. So not bad. Yeah, like actually, like unironically 0 time. I got the Imp 0 time too, and actually the Goblin 1 0 time too. Sammy KC, Vandals KC. Did not get the Lesser Demon 0 time from Sammy though. Sag. Cool. Yes, that takes care of everything. I think I will see you all in the next Ramble, which will hopefully be by the end of the year. I really hope I can get the Shadow in maybe 6 weeks. Probably not. 275 raids in 6 weeks. Well, probability and everything, but that'll be pretty hard. So maybe I'll see you back in January or even February if I burn out. Yeah.